We won, baby. 26-23. I'm so excited, man. I thought the Arizona Cardinal fans said something. I had a few fans talking to Judge. Talking, oh, you don't believe the Lions gonna win? Well, I'm glad they did win. I mean, whew. Say this, man. Got a few things I'm gonna say before I get in my bag on this one. Kenny Galladay better have that check sitting on his Nike bag or whatever he rep. He better get paid soon, okay? Secondly, Adrian Peterson, I apologize again. Third, this is Jack Fox, the punter. He the truth. But let's keep going on. We back. Motor City Sports Talk. Lions win. I'm so happy. Sunday feels so better when we win. And everybody that beat us before, the Bears and the Packers, still undefeated. All right. The Falcons lost another league today. You know, we persevered. It was 6 or 7 lead changes. And like I said today, we needed that win. I think we right back there. I think Galladay changes the entire complexion of this season. As much as Stafford, to me, changed the complexion of last season, I'm gonna say about 20 or 30% up under that. Galladay changed the season. But let's talk about the game. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Usually for 1 o'clock games, I watch the game in my living room. Whatever reason today, watch the game upstairs in my room. So I think I'm gonna start watching Lions game in my room and be a little bit superstitious. But let's talk about the stats real quick. We start off at the losing team. Kyler Murray, he took 2 sacks today. He was 23 for 35, 270. He threw 3 picks. Jamie Collins caught 1. Deron Harmon caught 1. He dropped 1 too, I believe. And Jeff Okudah caught 1. We got to talk about him as well. He had 29 yards on the ground in the touchdown where he juked Jeff Okudah. But ain't nobody really catching up to that boy in open space. Kenyon Drake had 73 yards, 18 carries, no touchdowns. Andy Isabel, I warned y'all about him. He was a good player. 4 catches, 47 yards, and he beat on one of the plays. He beat what's my man's Darryl Roberts on the flag route, corner route. So he had 2 touchdowns today. DeAndre Hopkins had 10 yards, 137. We kept him out the end zone, and pretty much wasn't nothing after that. For the Lions, offensively, Peterson had 22 carries, 75 yards. Matthew Stafford was 22 for 31, 270, no interceptions. I don't think he had no turnovers, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 4 times. Kerryon Johnson, they cut his load down this week. They must have listened to me. I said, give me a heavy dose of Adrian Peterson. And that's what they did. 22 carries. Agnew had 1 carry. Stafford had 1 carry for -3 yards. Kerryon had 3 carries for 16 yards. So they must have been watching the same game I'm watching. And I'm going to continue to talk about, I guess they watching my videos or it's just common sense. But Swifton had no carries. He had 1 catch for 19 yards. Had a blown play where he went to the flats and then turned around and didn't know there was going to be a blitz and he was the high route. So he had a little rookie mistake. Galladay, 6 catches, 57 yards, 1 TD. Hockenson, 4 catches. They both had 7 targets, 4 catches, 53 yards. I still think he should have been more high volume. But Marvin Jones had 51 yards, 3 catches. Jesse had 3 catches, 28 yards and a touchdown. So one thing I did know is we talked about the guys who got the interceptions, the sacks. Okora got 1 sack, and I think I said he was sacked twice. He was sacked once. Okay. Okora got the 1 sack. But one thing I did notice today that kind of jumped out on the screen, as usual, is the Lions scripted plays worked. They went down the field. They scored a field goal, but they had a great game plan today offensively. They ran behind Peterson, like I said they should. I thought they should have used Swift just a little bit more, but they ran behind Peterson, and that was the beautiful thing. They let him get into a rhythm. He looked good today. And the one thing I did notice about the offense is how much Kenny Galladay rolled coverage. Marvin Jones ain't looked this good all year. You know why? Because Marvin Jones didn't have to have all the attention. He had some big catches, but he didn't have to have all that attention. Him and Danny Amendola had one-on-ones, and it's clear as day. The 4 best offensive weapons for the Lions is Ragnow, Galladay outside of Stafford, Ragnow, Galladay, and Hockenson. And I think those are 3 plus Stafford. Those are the 4 most important weapons and the best weapons. And they found a way today to utilize Jesse James as well. But what happened today is that Galladay you had to get so much attention to him that now it frees up everybody else. And the game plan was perfect today, man. They let Adrian get into a rhythm. One thing I didn't like about they did with Adrian, I don't like how they run him out the shotgun. I like him running from the center under the quarterback under the center. I like him running behind the fullback too. But they did an amazing job letting him really get into a rhythm. And then Darrell Bevel found a way to get Jesse James 4 targets. That was another thing that I noticed. They found a way to utilize the 2 tight ends. I still want to see Hockenson get more targets, but I take the 11 targets that the tight ends got. They got to utilize that. Hockenson could have had 15 catches today, man. He had a great matchup. They couldn't mess with him, But overall, they did a great job today offensively. Stafford missed some throws, and that's understandable. They was, Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator, the old Broncos coach, he was sending some heat. He was sending some real heat at Matthew Stafford. And we know with High Tide, Big V being in there and not being used to doing his thing, I cussed him out too. When he had that holding penalty and they threw the ball down to Marvin Hall, but you know what? That might have been a blessing on that part of the game. That holding penalty, because it allowed the Lions to continue to chew up the clock and then put the defense back on the field. All right, but that was a beautiful pass that's not going to come from Stafford to Hall. And they got to find a way to get Hall more opportunities. But that holding penalty was a blessing in disguise. So we would have went down there and scored a touchdown. It would have gave, Kyler Murray opportunity to get the ball in his hands versus our defense. And I'll get to the defense in a minute. So, Stafford, they kept their poise and they threw the ball down to Marvin Jones. He caught the ball down the line and then we got in position and, that was it offensively. But Stafford missed some throws today in the red zone. I think he missed James for a second touchdown. But overall, all is forgiven. You're going to miss some throws when you're under pressure. When they're not picking up that blitz. And I think this was probably the most blitzing team that the Lions seen. And for the most part, that one play when they started off on the 1 and they sent the blitz and they picked it up, Stafford threw a strike. Can't remember who it was to. But that line going to get better. It is going to get better. Only things offensively I didn't like is I wanted to see Hockenson get more opportunities. But other than that, they look good today. Galladay was the difference. And also the game plan. The game plan to stick with one running back was a big difference. And they stuck with the run game. They had 22 carries for Peterson, and you had 3 carries for Johnson. So 25 carries by running backs. And Agnew, that kick return was huge as well. And also he had a little catch as well. I think we almost picked up a first down. He might have picked it up. So personally, I like how they trying to use Agnew and his speed, but I think offensively they need to find a way to use Hall. He's just too much of a threat down the field, and he's able to locate the ball and he's able to catch those deep balls too. Because the one that didn't count that Stafford dropped in the bucket to him, that was a tough ball to track and catch. He was leaning back, but it was a perfect throw, and that's what you want to see, man. And Stafford on that play per se, he was off balance, and then somehow he set his feet real quickly, and he dropped that in the bucket. But offensively, I love what they did today. If next week, if they want to run with Kerryon Johnson, they want to feed him the ball, cool, and give Adrian a break. But they gotta find a way to continue to pick one running back that's gonna get the bulk of the carries. But at some point, DeAndre Swift gonna have to start getting some carries and starting to get in the rhythm. But defensively, the first person that stepped out, that popped out to me today was Jamie Collins. Jamie Collins was elite today up underneath early in the game. He had a pick. He forced another pick. He was filling the gaps. I mean, Ragland filled in the gap too, where he stopped the run. But Collins played at a really good level today. And I want to say that at first. And Harmon got a pick. Harmon dropped another pick, though. Okudah got a pick. And Okudah was traveling versus DeAndre Hopkins, and he was holding his own. I think some things happen for a reason. Now, High Tide, Big V penalty, that happened for a reason. That allowed us to win the game. Okay? And also, I think the injuries to Desmond Trufant and I think the injuries to Justin Coleman was a blessing. Because if Coleman is still in there, Okudah's not traveling into the slot. And I think Okudah traveling to the slot, I think the game is starting to slow down to him. I think all those reps he missed in minicamp and OTAs and preseason, now I think the game is starting to slow down to him. He made a huge tackle on DeAndre Hopkins, and he did pretty good. He kept him out the end zone. They did as a unit. So, Okudah and Collins was my two standouts today. They stood out today, and they did a fantastic job. But overall, they forced turnovers. And when you play bend don't break football, you have to force turnovers. That's the key. Turnovers alleviate, those runs, but they got to continue to stop that run. They got to find a way to plug in better. And I don't know if it's, that Matt Patricia don't know how to teach it or whatever it may be, but they got to learn how to plug those gaps. But other than that, man, defensively, they did what they had to do today. Let's just let you know how important of a player Kenny Galladay is. But as well, Kyler Murray is a dynamic talent. But this is how you do it. They had Tavai spine him. He did a good job spying him on the times he did. But also, they kept him in the pocket. They didn't let him break contain too often. And when he wanted to run up the middle, he had to break out to his left. So they did well as far as containing Kyler Murray. And what I say he had on the ground. He had, let's see what we had on the ground. Seahawks just completed a 4th and 3rd. So the Cowboys did come back. They have won. But, he had 5 carries for 29 yards. I live with that. He threw 3 picks. I live with that. I mean, we think we all will. I just need to see them get better with their gap integrity. I just need to see them defensively get better with getting pressure. But they sent some pressure. They was playing a lot of man. And when they play zone, it's good things happen. So they got to continue to mix in the man in the zone. When you playing a mobile quarterback, even if you playing Madden, zone is the key. Because when everybody turn their back, especially if you don't got a spy, he get caught lacking, Kyler Murray be gone. But they had a good game plan today. Shout out to Patricia under a tremendous amount of pressure. For the second week, Terry Bradshaw called them out, and they performed, And I think the huge thing was personnel with them. I think if the personnel was healthy, this team would probably be 2-1. And I really think they'd be 3-0. But I think it's not over yet. I think this team can win a division still, okay? Nick Foles did go in for the Trubisky, but it's on a matter of time to, the China doll statue, get injured. The Minnesota Vikings lost today. They got beat by the Titans, and they played a hell of a game. Justin Jefferson from LSU had a hell of a game, for real. I'm looking at this DK Metcalf celebrate before he crossed the goal line. Wow, I had him on my fantasy today, but yeah, that just blew my mind because I didn't know that happened. I was watching the Lions game, but we right there. And remember, there's an extra playoff spot, but today. Game ball goes to Kenny Galladay, and it goes to Fox. Those are 2 guys. And Collins. Those are 3 guys I get a game ball to. Collins, the linebacker. Fox, the punter. And I give it to, who else I say? Fox. And Collins. Jamie Collins played tremendous today. So, I'm excited, man. I think Galladay shifts the power in a lot of these games. And Mike Thomas may not play next week. And I like our chances. They playing the Packers tonight in Sunday Night Football. I really like our chances if the defenses can just create turnovers or they can just get better at stopping the run and rushing the passer. But like I said today, man, they persevered today, and I think Galladay was a huge difference. He shifted the power of this team. He just a big play receiver. If you can't see that he a top 8 talent at receiver, then I think you just hating or you blind. But they definitely got to pay that guy, man. And you could tell that he wasn't 100% today. And once he kind of work his way to 100% and get back explosive, the Lions going to be a dangerous team. They're going to be dangerous, man. It's just that, can they overcome the defensive woes and the mental? Because the special teams, they playing. I seen Quintez Cephas make a tackle on special teams today. They playing. They got a way better special teams coach. I mean, the punter is unbelievable. Matt Prater's Prater. We just need some explosive plays in the punt and the return game, the kick return game. But I'm excited, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. We got the win 26-23. I'll have a live reaction tomorrow, a live review. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, bell icon button. If you do happen to miss that, always check the Detroit Lions one-on-one talk playlist for our live streams. Check out the Detroit Lions talk playlist for regular video format, and check the post-game reaction playlist if you ever miss our post-game reaction game videos. I'm trying to watch this game. Appreciate the love, support. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App is CJGood313. PayPal link in the description. If you missed that, that's in the description. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Appreciate the love, support. Best way to donate is to share the video. And don't forget, you can check out my other channel, Goodfellas Sports TV, right here on YouTube. One time for the one time. Lions, we got the win, one Pride Nation. So we on to the Saints next week. And people was talking about firing Matt Patricia, and I was talking about it. But if he able to pull it out next week versus Saints, which ain't out the realm of possibility, I don't believe. I think they come here too. We could be going to the bye 2-2 and playing the Jaguars. I think coming out the bye. So, I'm feeling pretty good. And DK Metcalf made up for that. He scored a touchdown. It's a minute 47 left. So the Seahawks came back. So I just wanted to update y'all. Appreciate y'all. We gone.